a very interesting unit in physiotherapy clinic, and that is neurology unit, neuro unit for short. So we call this neuro unit for short. So in this unit, the particular condition I want to talk to us about is stroke. Stroke. Before I actually started my clinicals in as a student, in this physiotherapy as a student, what I knew was that stroke was for elderly people above 75, 60, 65. That is my knowledge about stroke until I started my clinical practice. I realized that even youth and young adults are having stroke. Yeah. Ah. Hey. Youth are having stroke in this our generation, and it has research has proven that 15 million people have stroke worldwide. 5 million people die from stroke. Annually, we have 11.17 million stroke, and you are still here doing some things not knowing they are precursors to stroke. You might be asking, what is stroke? Let me tell you how stroke happens. Let me give us a background knowledge of what stroke actually is. Stroke is actually insufficient blood supply to your brain, and this is the way that blood supply is insufficient, because there are two types of stroke. We have ischemic stroke and we have hemorrhagic stroke. You don't bother about all of that grammar. It is not your business. Leave that one to your physiotherapist and your doctors. But this is, I just want to give you a picture. I want you to create a picture of what this stroke can be like, or what this stroke is actually like. Now, your brain is there. There is blood supply. Your brain needs blood. For your brain to function well, it needs blood. When there is insufficient blood to your brain, what automatically happens is your brain will pine. If there is, your brain is not like your hand or your leg, that if there is no blood supply to your leg or your hand, you will start having paja paja, or you start feeling one tingling sensation, especially your hand. Or if there is an occlusion, to your leg or your hand, and there's no blood supply there, the muscles in your hand and your leg, they still understand. They are very understanding. They are feminine in nature. I don't want to be biased. I'm sorry, I'm not being biased. I'm sorry, masculinity, femininity. I'm not doing all of that. But what I just want us to understand is your brain requires appropriate and sufficient blood supply per time per second. When there is no blood supply to that brain, any part of the brain that does not have blood supply automatically dies or automatically becomes inactive. And when they are inactive, the brain is the one supplying every part of our body function. If that part should die, even part that is supplying your hand or your leg, that's what happens with stroke. So insufficient blood supply to the brain. And all of this insufficient blood supply happens in various ways. It could be that the pipe, let me call it pipe, the vessel that is taking blood to your brain is occluded. That is, something is blocking the blood. When something starts to block your vessel and there is no blood getting to your brain, stroke. And there's another one, hemorrhagic stroke. You see this one there? Because your vessel has been working, or maybe it has lost its elasticity, then that vessel, or let me help you to understand it. Let me call it pipe, because it's not even as thick as this one, but let's just call it pipe. It's now like breaks open, or it ruptures when there is rupture, stroke, because you see that blood having direct contact with your brain, or even like the wall or the layer of your brain, the subarachnoid space or intracranial space. When there is blood like directly on those space or in those space, you have stroke, and that is what is causing stroke. But mommy Toby, this thing that I'm explaining now, you have a role to play in it, because a whole lot of you will now be like, it's village people. And let me tell you one funny thing about stroke: silent killer. Stroke will not, it will just come in. You will just realize that, oh, it's not been giving you signs. Oh. Stroke comes with warning signs. You are the one that's not paying attention to it. It has been giving you different warning signs, but you chose not to pay attention to it. Now let me tell you those type of like causes, those things that you have been doing, or those things, or in fact 90% of stroke is as a result of your lifestyle. All of these youths, I saw a 35-year-old. I said, how can somebody that is 35 years old have stroke? Why? Lifestyle. There's something called high blood pressure, and it is the major cause of stroke. High blood pressure is just your heart forcefully pumping blood to your brain. In the process of forcefully pumping blood, the vessel, I told you, it does not have power. It can break open, or it can get occluded, because by the time it's forcefully pumping something like any other, like something can just like it can something can block it. So, and again, if your heart is forcefully pumping blood, you know what that means. You are making your heart to go through, you're making your heart to go through certain things that it does not want to go through. Your heart is very, very like, you should guard, the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it comes the issues of life. Guard your heart with all diligence. Part of this comes the issues of life. You see, our cardiovascular health, your heart health is very important, because if you did not protect your heart with all diligence, your lifestyle, your feeding, your stress, your nature, your posture, all of those things, if you are not taking care or taking note of them, and you allow your heart to be in bad health or in bad shape, or you allow your heart to have a deficiency, it is an automatic visa to stroke. To think about things that you are not supposed to be thinking about, giving yourself stress. The Bible said, cast all your burdens upon me, for I care for you. Cast all your burdens upon God and stop giving yourself stress. Mommy Toby, stop giving yourself stress. Stress will lead to high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the general overseer for stroke. High blood pressure is the general overseer for stroke. Stop stressing yourself. Stop eating something that is not healthy. All of you, shawarma. I'm not saying shawarma is bad. I know you love shawarma, but all of these junk, shawarma, you eat shawarma today, you eat pizza tomorrow, you eat pancake next day. All of this, I'm not saying they are bad, but you should know how to manage your health in such a way that it will not start affecting, your feeding. You are not eating healthy every time. In the morning you eat shawarma, in the afternoon you eat pizza, at night you eat biscuit, chocolates, and that's all you are eating. You will now like be increasing. You see all of those fats, they can come into smaller particles. It increases your cholesterol. When another thing that causes stroke is high cholesterol, it increases your cholesterol. When your cholesterol is increased, it will now like form build up. When it builds up, or when there is too much of it, even the Bible says too much of anything is not good. It's not even the Bible that said that. It's the Bible. Too much of anything is not good, and we know. So if you now decide to be eating fatty food, you eat chicken, you fry chicken. If you have not yet fried your own chicken, go back, you don't know, and you are not using unhealthy type of oil. You are not using like in it, and you are enjoying it. There's a way that seemeth right to a man, the end thereof is destruction. You see, all those fats can cause tiny buildups that will not enter into your vessel. When it enter into that pipe, it blocks the pipe. When the pipe is blocked, you know what happens next. Let me not tell you. You know what happens next. Another thing, I've said high blood pressure can cause it. All this wahala that you're giving yourself. Kineka, I want to do. It's not more elderly people that have stroke now. Even young people are having stroke. Toby, it is not only mommy Toby that is shouting and screaming on your head. You, these children, that you're even stressing your parents. Please, let them eat the fruit of their labor. But you, these small children too, that you're stressing yourself. You're stressing yourself. You're stressing yourself. You don't know how to give yourself rest. If you are lucky, that's when you become a stroke survivor. A lot of people die from stroke because once that happens, once there is a block, automatic death. But so please, mommy Toby, reduce high cholesterol food. If you are hypertensive and you are still taking salt. Hey, mommy Toby, hey, why do you hate yourself like this? How can you be hypertensive and you are still taking salt? You're hypertensive, you are still taking salt. Ah, salt is an enemy. When they say that there is the enemy is roaming around seeking whom he may devour, salt gangalong. When it comes to hypertension, if you're hypertensive, you don't need to take salt. Cut, in fact, not reduce, cut your salt and take your drugs. Don't expect one magic to happen. All of these things didn't happen magically, so it will not live magically. Please. Another tip: do not smoke. Don't smoke. Smoking is another cause for this particular condition called stroke. You see, but what I'm going to be like leveraging on is this hypertension. If you don't know your hypertensive state, if you don't know your blood pressure, if you don't know your blood pressure, please go and check it. Please, I beg you. Mommy Toby, Sister Blessing, Bro John, please check your blood pressure. Check it. Know your state, know your health. It's not going to hurt you, it's not going to harm you. If you know your health condition, it's not going to hurt you. Just check your blood pressure. Check your blood pressure. Check your blood pressure. Mommy Toby, check your blood pressure. Know your if your blood pressure is already like giving you above, above the normal value, above the normal range. Just know, because I don't want to say the value here now, because if I say any value here now, you now hold it and now go and use it as reference. You now start giving yourself another blood pressure that nobody puts in you. You now start giving yourself that kind of stress. Because a lot of us, what in fact, your mind is the one that. So avoid your blood pressure is a silent killer. If you don't know it, go and check it. Your blood pressure is a silent killer. I am shouting and shouting and shouting now. Your blood pressure is the silent killer. Your blood pressure is the silent killer. And I have told you, prevention is cheaper than cure. Prevention is cheaper. Prevention is cheaper. Prevention is cheaper. Prevention is cheaper. What people come down with as stroke survivors, you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it. You really don't want to deal with it. So prevent stroke as as best as you can, as much as you can, as much as you can, please. And one major way you can prevent, because all the 87% of stroke is caused by ischemic, and that ischemic, it is reduced blood supply to the brain as a result of blockage in your vessel, or in what is in the pipe that is carrying blood to your brain. The pipe that's carrying blood to your brain is blocked. That's ischemic, and that is what most of us have tendency to have. So please. So I would like you, if you have not at this point, I know you have gained a lot. I know you have learned something. I know you have learned a lot about stroke. So I want you to please click on that like button, tap the notification bell, and if you have not subscribed at this point, you are very wrong. Go and subscribe so that you get every other series that I'm going to be dropping, every other videos I'm going to be dropping after this one. And for you to know the preventive measures, I'm going to be dropping a video on how to prevent stroke after this one. Then after that preventive measure, we're going to be talking about, so I'm going to be like dropping videos on the warning signs for stroke. There are some warning signs that stroke actually gives us. We have stroke warning signs. That is those things that you notice that make you know that, oh, there is something my heart is telling me about my vessel, or there is something that is happening right now. I need to rush to the hospital. There is something that is happening now. I need to quickly see the doctor before it leads to stroke, because when you have stroke, it leads to paralysis, it leads to a whole lot of things. Still doesn't want all of these things. I know you want to enjoy both your youth and even your adulthood. So please prevent stress, prevent junks, prevent, yes, it can also be in your gene. If you know stroke is in your gene, then what you want to do is know what your blood pressure is and you follow it up and do everything in your own power. If stroke is in your gene, one thing you want to run away from is salt. One thing you want to run away from is alcohol. If stroke is in your gene, one thing you want to run away from is high sugar diet. Sugar stores up, as you know, sugar can build up in the body and lead to something that blocks our vessel. So please